We need to ignore all obvious things because we cannot be sure it will be working in each country, in each nation, at any ethnics, because even the colors can be different. And what I will recommend at the end, but I put it here as well, always give the necessary information. Not too much, because it's overwhelming the user, of course. But you need to walk through with a very, very sensitive emotion the user's way. And I have to check myself if I just ignored any part because it's obvious. And here is the most obvious thing, the red. This is the very best example for that. So, hi everyone. Dangers of the obvious. The obvious I will describe very well, and we will walk around this subject because the main conclusion will be it's everybody is our user for product UX UI designers, but not us. We cannot be our user, and I show you why. So I am Laszlo Lumiko. I'm working in product and UX UI design since 20 years. I've grown my experience and profession with burning these professions. So I think, and I explain everything maybe a bit different because I didn't learn that in school. I learned that in life with real users. So, but I need you as well, because not just listen, stop me anytime. If you don't understand, you lose my English, you don't understand, or anything, then please stop me, ask any question, okay? Because it would be I prepared much better to a workshop, like a presentation and teach. Let's discuss this subject. So, what is it obvious? Our enemy. And definitely it is. Obvious something that manage an evident fact that everybody knows, yeah? But the problem is, we are pretty sure about everybody knows that thing in the very same way, in very same environment, in very same color, everything is same, but it doesn't. And what if someone knows differently the things? Then we are in the position that I knew that, but I never expect. And that is the confusion, because how many times do you hear that? Come on, it is obvious. How can that be obvious? It's not obvious to me. And here is the first trap when we start working with users. If we let in the room the obvious things, we will do failures. We will fail, we will do errors, because we trust in obvious that everyone else knows that. Why it is important? Is it really obvious, the nodding? What I say now?
Yes.
Yes.
Depending where we are. Just here in Europe, we have two countries. Do you know which is those two countries? Where they do that in opposite way. This means no. This means yes. Bulgaria and Albania. And all above that, there is another country, Macedonia, where they use the opposite meaning, particularly. A designer through than hairs, yeah? I do a product for that country, and there are different habits, different folks, different meanings, different association, come on. Color meaning and color association. Red. What that says to you?
Yes.
Good, good.
Avoid something.
Yes. Yes. What we can say, what is this group? It's all negative, yeah?
Good luck.
What about love? But what,
It's wisdom.
but what about the love? I know it's a dangerous mistake, but love. When you represent love, it's red again. And you should not forget that. Because you say, okay, red, danger, negative, obvious. No. Roundabouts. Do you drive? Try that in the island. Each roundabout has its own habit, even with the same layout. How that can be? We don't have the rules of the road. We do. We have it. It should be obvious. Is it? Cycling on the road. Today it's a very important question because there are lots of conflicts about that, yeah? Is anybody riding here? Only one person. Do you ride in the opposite way than the arrow says?
No, but I do go from it at night.
I saw that every day. I think both signs are obvious. Why? Stupid or I don't care. Anyway, if we trust in obvious that I put there the vehicle declaration, I put there an arrow which way you have to go, and you cannot be sure the users will go in that way. Again, an obvious thing what can mislead us. Signs, my favorite part. United States, one way. Clear, understandable. A European will understand. Yes, yeah? We can agree in that. European one-way sign. Hi, I come from Texas. I don't understand this blue, white arrow. What is? Go to heaven. So, no relation between two signs, while most of the road signs are similar. So, obvious. Roadworks. In our family, this is roadworks, but that's a different danger.
That's a man taking out no problem, and he's trying to open.
That's it. It's a hard to open umbrella danger. Don't go there in rain. You can be in trouble. And my favorite, you can pet a ball-laying duck. You can. The signs show that. What do you recognize when someone wears earphones or over-ear in an office? Oh, sorry, I was too fast. What they are listening to? Music, movie, radio, audiobook. Maybe it's silent. And he's just listening what's going around him. Yeah, to know something what maybe he can't hear if you don't wear it. Obvious if earphones are in, he's listening to them. Again. And the functions what we are service, and here we come back to our profession. It's very important. We are professionals in those services, products, anything what we are working on to make better user experience, more easy user interface. We are professional in that, in the entire background. So a lot of things we can manage as obvious. And that's why I say we are not our users. Who are our users? everybody except us. It's a long ride because it's a very long list. I give you some examples. Users and customers, of course, because we do the products and services for them. Designer colleagues, think about it for a second. They are not you. They can think differently, they can associate differently, they can understand things differently. And because of that, you need to be accurate and precise when you're talking even to a colleague. And what you do then, like a user, so you translate something, you give information. Other colleagues, in any Scrum or Agile teams, they're very important persons, but they are not designers. And they know that product and service or anything much better than any user can. And in that case, some things became obvious because a function is since 10 years we have. It's obvious then. And we get that habit to forget about that, to, for example, associate with a new function, how to build in the new version or those. So the list longer as I thought. So we are not our user. This I will say a couple of times because it's very important. We have to behave as designers who listen emotionally and get empathy to the users. And much better to manage someone as a child than they think very same way as we and know those obvious things as we know, and we run in failure because they don't understand. And then comes up these Bulgaria, Albania, or in nightmare, Macedonia, for nodding and size shaking. So a real story, I told you quickly. I need to start it separately because I was not able to include in the presentation. Here we go. Yep. And do I need to? No. I need to now select this window. I make a higher resolution. Sorry for the. We need to ignore all obvious things because we cannot be sure it will be working in each country, in each nation, at any ethnics, because even the colors can be different. And what I will recommend at the end, but I put it here as well, always give the necessary information. Not too much, because it's overwhelming the user, of course. But you need to walk through with a very, very sensitive emotion the user's way. And don't do a fast step or a long step when you say, okay, this part is very obvious, because we do that every day. I still do that. And I have to check myself if I just ignored any part because it's obvious. And here is the most obvious thing, the red. This is the very best example for that. It has opposite meanings depending on how we present it. And that's the key. I think this answers your question. So always need to keep an eye on that. If I ignored any obvious thing, or I handle something as obvious. Is that answered?
Yeah.
I try again. Okay, I can make it bigger, but okay, so the Important thing about this, and I accidentally skipped that slide, the environment is a fintech company, where the problem was the manual onboarding of countries, the merchants, the access points, and because of that, an onboarding was around 3 months what it spent. The target was to digitize it, so make a digital onboarding and reduce down to a week time frame. And there was another important requirement. It was the multi-level access. There are 3 levels of the decision makers who do the setup for a country because of the laws, for a merchant because of their business rules. There is a bottom who was the contract makers. Above them were the customer related managers, and above that the lawyers who know all the laws and can do the sets. How we can do that? Because it's in different countries, in different environments, different settings was related to different level of the decisions maker. Does that make sense until now? So we had to solve that. On the top level, that decision maker or decision makers who have that level access can decide if any setting is editable on the next level, next down level, or not. And if it's editable, in that case, the second level decision maker can decide if the lowest can edit that setting or not. Does that make sense? Okay. We created that very simple prototype where with the currency we can do that. You see, some editable on the next lower level, some locked. If I change that setting on the top level, at the country level, it changed the setting on the lower levels. Clear? Obvious? Okay, so if I say I want to let the next level to change any setting, so just release this, it's about the currency label, I can say that. At that point, it's still locked, but if you see, if it's locked, there is no option to make it editable on lower level. If I let it to the next level, it can decide if I let the next level. And in this case, if I change here, for example, what was yep. So here I change to GBP from font sign. It won't change the top level because it will change only on head office level with the second level decision maker, and sets the lower level. What is the location management? The lowest level of the access. Is that clear enough? And if I decide to not let them from now change, it will set back to the top level. Clear? I tell you what the developers made. I tried to change this. It doesn't change. It says I need to first unlock that setting to be able to edit. Did I show that? I show something different, I think. There was a prototype. They can click it. They can see. We label it to see what happens if you click somewhere, how it changes everything. But they made a nonsense function and didn't include this solution for multi-level access management. A short while I get back to the presentation. Just give me a second. I will be more professional in this, I think, this time. Choose window. Oh, this one, please. Ta-da! Okay, so let's see. This was what I just jumped through. Okay, who and where was wrong? At home, always me, and every time. But seriously, what happened? I began to investigate what happened. We designed something. We made a presentation. We show how it's working. We leave with them a high fidelity design system used prototype. This was what I showed you. It was just a quick get from it. How they get to that result, to I need to push a button to edit a field. So what designers created in this prototype was obvious. We can say that it's obvious. The function was obvious. The use was obvious. Everyone understood at the handoff meeting, and they don't have any questions. They were happy with it because the functions and the prototype is obvious. At this point, I already have the itchy rush from obvious itself. After coding, it went to QA, and it passed the QA. They told it made no sense, that click, but it's obvious. Again, the obvious. A project was terminated after the presentation of the development outcome because they didn't see the potential in it, and it didn't solve the multi-level access. But it was designed. It was explained. So who was wrong? The winner is all of us who was working on it. Why? Designer didn't give an accurate and complete documentation. And here I sign back to what I said. It's much better if you handle someone as a child and you describe everything perfectly and accurately and deeply, instead of any missing information made an obvious feeling from someone who misunderstood the thing and do something completely different what you designed. Developers also made an error. When they find out something is nonsense, why they didn't ask us? Even that, are you stupid? What the hell is this? Check the prototype and you will see we didn't design this. We don't know where it's come. Second point, quality assurance. Again, if they see something and they didn't compare with the prototype the end product, the product owner and manager who didn't call designers in the QA process just to check. I see something different what I designed. So, we are at the end. So never trust the obvious. It's very important. There is always someone who will understand an obvious thing in an unexpected way. For sure. Every time. Be a silent warrior instead and avoid the obvious. So that's what answer on your question. If you can spot, you can identify the obvious things, for what you or any colleague says that obvious, okay? Exclamation. Danger. Never assume that your prototype is perfect and fully informative. Because, you see, the prototype was perfect. It works as it has been designed. But if you can misunderstand it, or anybody can misunderstand it, who plays a key role in this process. Going in error. Make accurate handoff documentation. We hate that because we don't like to write books. Some of us, okay. But it's a long process. But if you don't do that, in that case, these things will happen anyway, even if you prepared for them. But if you have an accurate, complete handoff, and you don't need to write a book, the keywords, flow charts. If you click here, this happens with that, and not with that. More easy. Yeah, follow developers' process. So it's also an important thing. And to be honest, I never saw that at any company I was working. That there are milestones in development when the developers sit down and check where they are, how it is working. Why designers in most companies, as I hear from colleagues as well, they are not involved in those. Why? They can spot errors. Oh, I didn't document that enough because it was obvious to me. Again, rush. And make design quality assurance mandatory. It's very important. Nothing else can secure that the design and the released product, service, anything will be the same. Because quality assurance can be based only on documentation, but I don't go in that deep. You all know that. So what I would like to focus on, it is that keep in mind, we are not our users, and we need to explain everything and all the time clearly. Very important, be accurate. And just the first, avoid obvious things. That was my danger of obvious today. Thank you.